Well, Chris Mitchell is with us now from Jerusalem. Chris, does Israel believe this new report is now going to put more pressure on the Trump administration to force Iran to give up the nuclear enrichment?
Well, it certainly puts a lot of urgency here in Israel right now after that report. And certainly, I believe here in Israel, they want the White House to realize that that Iran, because of this report, just one more demonstration, one more piece of evidence that Iran can't be trusted, that it's not negotiating in good faith. Not only did it say that it's enriched 50% more enriched uranium since just February, the report also said that there were 3 secret locations that hadn't been identified before where there is nuclear activity going on. So I think over here in Israel, Gordon, they feel like this is just one more evidence that these negotiations really aren't going anywhere necessarily, and that Iran has been doing what it's been doing so long, stretching out the negotiations while continuing their nuclear program toward a nuclear weapon. And now we know it could be as many as 10 nuclear weapons based on all the enriched uranium they have, to 60%, just one step away from military-grade uranium.
Do you think the State Department, the Trump administration, is waking up to this? It looks like both Hamas and Iran are playing the same game to talk about negotiations, but then in the middle of it, it's clear they're not negotiating. They're not being real about trying to come to some conclusion on it. And I think the delay tactic with Iran, what is that really the game? And if so, do you think the administration is now aware of it?
Well, from the Iranian point of view, and what it's been doing for many years, ever since 2015 with the JCPO, and even before that, it seems to be delaying and obfuscating any attempts to really find out exactly what's going on with the Iranian nuclear program. We know that President Trump has said both, first of all, he's not going to allow Iran to get a nuclear weapon. On the other hand, he wants to avoid a military strike, and he wants Iran, as he said, to be a great country, and he doesn't want to use the military option if he doesn't have to. But I think this may be one more, as I said, evidence that Iran is not negotiating in good faith, and perhaps the White House and or the State Department may be losing patience with the Iranian negotiators, as they say one thing in the negotiating table, and then you can see what's happening on the other hand, what they're doing on their nuclear facilities throughout Iran.
Well, let's fast forward just a few months is what I'm hearing, that they have enough uranium to get to 10 weapons. So let's fast forward, and they declare we have 10 nuclear weapons. What does that do?
Well, it's a game changer, Gordon. How would Israel react? How would the region react? How would the U.S. react? And that's sort of the worst case scenario if they came out and said that we have all these weapons. That would put a nuclear umbrella over the Middle East and even the world, for that matter, with the ballistic missiles that they've been developing over these past decades as well. Hopefully there's enough intelligence to know that any military strike and or negotiations could stop Iran from getting those 10 nuclear weapons. But if that happens, we're looking at a whole different Middle East, Gordon.
Could we be looking at a first strike against Tel Aviv?
Well, we hope not, and we pray not. But we know that Iran, almost on a daily basis, has been saying death to Israel, death to the United States. Israel here is the little Satan. The United States is the great Satan. And that would be what some people fear. It would be the worst case scenario, doing what Adolf Hitler did in 6 years. They could destroy 6 million people in 6 minutes if they had a first strike capability.
Well, let's talk about something positive, which is the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. What would be the impact if humanitarian aid could actually flow freely in Gaza without Hamas interfering, trying to profit off of it? What's the impact on Hamas?
Well, I think we're seeing the impact already, Gordon. We're seeing what Hamas is doing by trying to prevent people from getting to these distribution sites. spreading disinformation that the IDF is killing people as they go to these distribution sites. But many people are ignoring what Hamas is saying or doing. They're getting this aid that's free. It's not they don't have to buy it. It also provides, maybe for a family for 50 males as they come there. And so what it's doing is undermining what Hamas has been doing for a long time, maybe since the beginning of the war. The humanitarian aid goes in, they steal it, they hoard it, and then they sell it back to the population. And then they blame Israel for people either being hungry or starving. And so it's all part of their propaganda ploy. So that's why they're trying to do whatever they can to stop this Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which seems for the first time being able to go around Hamas and stop them from using this aid for their own gains financially and to control the population. There's a saying that says, you control the oil, you can control the nation, you control the food, you can control the population. That's exactly what Hamas has been doing.
Well, they're doing a very good job of controlling the story that there was an IDF attack against the Gaza Foundation distribution. That went around the world, and none other than the Red Cross was supporting it. There were reports of gunshot victims being admitted into the hospital. Your report today is the first video I've seen in all the news coverage over the weekend that shows the distribution, the time of the distribution, and during that distribution, there wasn't any fire at all, gunfire at all. So is Hamas winning the PR battle and the battle for hearts and minds?
I think they are, Gordon, based on, how many of the global media just literally ran with this story almost immediately. It took a little while for this video to come out that showed at the time of the alleged shootings, there was really nothing going on. And the IDF took some time before they did evaluation of the situation, where they came out and they said there was shooting, but that was about a half a mile away, and it had nothing to do with any activity at the distribution site. But to your point, the global news, it just ran with this. I saw it on CNN and AP and BBC and other outlets. And also they're just attacking the whole notion of this humanitarian aid, because it undermines not only Hamas, but many of the UN organizations as well. Danny Danon, the Israeli ambassador to the UN, he came out and attacked the UN for collaborating with Hamas and trying to stop this aid.
Well, Chris, thanks for being with us. Thanks for this wonderful report and getting the truth out there. I think now more than ever, we need to redouble our efforts and get ahead of these stories that are coming out of Gaza Ministry of Health. You hear anything with that tag, please take it, you're listening to propaganda, and it's been that way since the start. If you remember the supposed IDF attack against the Gaza hospital, where innocent patients were killed, it turned out, well, no, it wasn't an IDF attack. It was a Hamas rocket that went off in a parking lot next to the hospital. Hospital wasn't affected at all. And that story went around the world. So over the weekend, this story has gone around the world. And Mark Twain famously said, a lie can go around the world before the truth has a chance to get its pants on. We've got to be vigilant in watching these things, calling it for what it is. And I echo what Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said. This is a blood libel. This is a claim of genocide when it's actually Hamas that's instituting the genocide against Israel. And you saw the face of evil on October 7th. We are really close to victory in Gaza, complete dismantling of Hamas. We are so close to it. We need to finish this task. Hamas should never govern Gaza again. It should never be a terror base again. Let's continue until Israel is safe.